welcome back to another episode of Scott's Quick Cash Class. We're talking to you about why you're not rich and maybe some of the reasons why you're not. So we're going to be here to help and hopefully answer some of your questions. Did you guys know that 79% of millionaires did not inherit a dime? That statistic just kind of blows my mind. You always hear in the media, they always talk about everyone inheriting all the money. You see it on social media. But the actual reality is almost 80% of millionaires didn't inherit a dime. 62% of them went to public college or didn't even finish college. That's the category I finished in. So 6 out of 10 millionaires either went to public college or didn't finish college. That's a pretty big deal. So the average Gen Zer is spending 4.2 hours a day on social media. That's doubled since 2015. So that in of itself is alarming, right? Like that just tells me that, and listen, I'm as guilty as anybody. I love looking on the Facebook Reels. I don't get on TikTok, but I do look at YouTube Shorts, and that just eats up a lot of your time. And the fact that it's doubled now since 2015, that's a huge statistic, right? Because that's 2 hours roughly a day that you could be using towards something else, and sometimes we don't even realize we're spending that much time on. So just be cognizant of that. And then here was one that really stuck out to me. Millionaires act on an idea within 24 hours versus non-millionaires, which take 21 days to act on an idea if they actually do. So use that for what it's worth, but that just shows that when you have something and you take immediate action on it, the chances of success is much higher than sitting around and wondering, hey, maybe I should do it this way, maybe I should do it this way, or if I just had this, maybe I need to talk to this person. If you get an idea, take action on it. So a couple of other things that millionaires do, or successful people that I'll say, is they take risks, but they're calculated. And I'm a risk taker. I like to gamble. I like playing sports. I've been involved in sports. I like taking risks. I like that part. That's part of America, right? Like America's all about taking risks. That's what we do. And that's capitalism, right? But you got to take calculated risks. I'm not saying take everything you have and put it into a startup company, or take everything you have and put it into a cryptocurrency. But if you just stick to the safe path of getting a job and saving your paycheck, that's not going to get you to where you want to go. That's probably the most dangerous path you can take is focusing on your job as your only source of income, because you have no control over your time, your schedule. You think you do, but you don't. And it could all be pulled out from you, and then that's your source of income, right? So focus on getting multiple sources of income, and part of that is taking risks. And so I just want to say, make sure you're taking some risks, because you need that. The other thing too that most millionaires have is they've created a circle of friends or a circle of trust that is moving in the direction they want to go. So we talked about this in previous episodes, but just take a look. Is your circle of friends moving the direction you want to go and where your dreams and aspirations are, or is your circle of trust holding you back? And that could be, family member and friends. Or your coworkers. But just think about that. Also, most successful people are producers of something, whether it's producers of knowledge, producers of physical, tangible product. They produce something, right? But most people that are broke are consumers. So take 30 minutes a day, instead of consuming information, produce something. Produce, whether it's going out and helping somebody, volunteering, do something to produce something tangible for someone else, and that will change your mindset when you go from a consumption mindset to a production mindset, because that is what successful, wealthy people do, is they have a production mindset. Yes, do they consume? Absolutely, right? But their focus is more about production than consumption. So a couple other things that I'll leave you with here. Question of the day. What big money idea have you sat on for longer than 24 hours and didn't take action? So I want you to think about that, because we've all had the friends or family be like, oh, this was $1 million idea. or $1 billion idea. Nowadays, ideas are $1 billion ideas, right? I want you to think about that. And the next time one of those ideas comes into your mind, think about how you can take action on it within 24 hours. And then the tip of the day is I'm going to leave you with speed is a wealth multiplier. Move first, ask questions second, right? So, and I'm not saying don't ever ask questions or don't go into things prepared, but a lot of times we have paralysis by analysis, and we just sit and think about, well, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? Or I need to get this done first. I need to get this done first. The most important thing you can do to move your financial future forward is to take action immediately, no matter how small the step is, because once you buy or once you do that first step, the next step gets easier and it gets easier and it gets easier. I remember I'll leave you with a real quick story here and then I'll get going. The first rental house I bought was $26,500, and I think my payment for principal, mortgage, and taxes was about $250-ish, and I was concerned about how I was going to make a payment on that if I couldn't get it rented out. I was super concerned, and we almost didn't buy the property because I was more concerned about getting it rented out than going, here's a great opportunity for me to make money. And we bought the house and we had it rented before that first payment come, and our first tenant paid us $550 on a payment of $250, and haven't ever been concerned about making a payment on or getting a tenant for a rental. It was a concern that I didn't even need to have, right? And that almost stopped me from getting into the rental business. So I'll leave you with that, is take action, take action, take action. Don't go crazy, but take action. You definitely want to take action. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate all the likes and the comments. If you have some questions, you want to know the answer, make sure you comment. And we're bringing you videos every day, so make sure you subscribe, and that way you'll know when we come to you. And once again, not trying to sell you anything. I'm never going to ask you to buy anything. Just trying to give you some good information to help you move forward. Till next time.